Welcome to Blueprint of a Craft. I'm ideator and host, Alissa Johnston. This is a space to center on the personal human connection as the main starting ingredient. We invite others to share what they feel their current craft in life is outside of their job title. Here, we identify craft as the value or impact you're trying to provide in life. In a playful, in-depth discussion, we pick apart the early sparks, the current framework, with all its messy parts and change pivots, and the future vision of this craft, ultimately creating a personal, usable blueprint. If you are a visionary, entrepreneur, leader of teams, community builder, or simply someone who wants to lead their life, this show is for you. Let's get to the day's blueprint. Hello, welcome to Blueprint of a Craft. I'm Alissa Johnston, leadership coach and learning and development strategist of over a decade, and sometimes a hiker on the side. In this episode, you're going to meet Elyse Badewitz, a childhood friend, and now award-winning spa owner in Nashville, Tennessee. Her mission? Deliver an experience where her guests truly feel seen. But I'll let the blueprint cover this. For now, I'll say she does believe in aliens. They could be among us right now. If she came back as an animal, she would teeter between a sleek cheetah or a fun and goofy butterfly. And you'll hear about the realities of where she struggles against her natural tendencies as a leader, but also knows how to lean into those areas that come naturally to bring her success. Let's dive into her framework. Hello. Welcome, Elyse.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
We're here after how many years of not seeing each other?
A long time.
It's been a long time.
At least 5, maybe up to 10. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, but we've known each other for a majority of our lives, ironically.
I would say 30 years?
It has
30
been.
years.
And things change. But
That's
here we are.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm so excited you could join us on Blueprint of a Craft podcast, where we're looking at giving people like you, visionaries, entrepreneurs, people looking to make an impact or lead their lives, a voice to what this is for you. And what does this look like in terms of the structure? What have you encountered? And give you a chance to showcase it's not always easy. And sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and do it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm here for it. I'm really excited to be here. So thanks for having me.
Now, with you being on board, we have to get to know the real Elyse beneath just the surface level spa experience guru that you are. Let's go through some rapid fire questions and see what we get from you.
Ready.
Okay. Number 1, why are you likable?
I'm caring. I genuinely care about people, and I care about their success and just being there for others.
That's often a missing ingredient. It can be good, or it can probably bite us in the rear end sometimes.
As a business owner, it is the biggest strength and the biggest weakness by far. It has taken so long to understand how to juggle that. So it's definitely not always a strength.
I can commiserate with you. I'm like you that way. It's knowing that fine line.
Yeah.
Okay, flip side. Elyse, why are you unlikable?
Why am I unlikable? I can be really blunt and to it. And I can tell you stuff that you might not want to hear. And I try to sugarcoat it and I try to be nice. But sometimes I can just be a little too direct and maybe burst your bubble or just bring the harsh reality of the world into it. When sometimes people want to be around people that are always just positive and happy and this and that. But life can be really hard. And sometimes I will tell you that it is.
Yeah, that's a double-edged sword. But as someone who needs to lead the charge, you need to know when to do that sometimes. Right?
It's hard. It's hard. And I've had, in the business world, I've had people quit because of it. I've maybe sometimes even lost friendships because they don't really get it. And I'm learning. We're all learning every day on how to be better.
That is it. Constant evolution. At what age did you first realize you were different?
Well, you can probably tell me that.
Going back to our theater days, perhaps?
Back to our theater days. I honestly would say from a very young age. As you know, we literally grew up as next door neighbors or across, not exactly next door. And I always loved to be a leader and to put together musicals and circus performances and anything I could do to gather a group of people together, or just you.
I was right.
Or the only person in the neighborhood that wanted to play with me because there wasn't many kids.
Well, I saw your butterfly side to you, so I knew the lighthearted goofiness would come out.
Good. Yes. Yeah. We had a lot of fun. But I think that's when I realized, like, I don't know, probably what, like 8, 9, 10, 11, like that range, that I'm kind of more meant to be a leader and that I enjoy getting a crowd together, being the center of connections to everything else. And then I would say when I was 16 is when I decided my career.
It's funny how you start to see the springlings of certain strengths within yourself, even at an early age, and then you're able to direct it and cultivate it into a very pointed focus, which is what you did with your current trajectory and your business ownership.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah.
That is awesome. What's the word driving you to build today?
The word driving me to build today would be passion. Genuinely passionate about what I do. I'm genuinely passionate about helping people. I'm genuinely passionate about watching other people succeed.
Right. It's a good feeling when you see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We come to the most important question of the day.
Ready.
Elyse, what is your current craft in life?
My current craft is to create experiences where clients can come in and feel relaxed and loved and taken care of, and where employees have a really great place to thrive. And then also to help spa owners have flourishing businesses. So I own a day spa and I am also a spa consultant. So in the grand scheme of both of those, that is what my craft is to deliver.
Wonderful. And that's a huge accomplishment. I know you said you knew the springling phases came when you were very young. You're like, I knew I wanted to lead something. And talk to me about how you ended up focusing in this health and wellness spa industry.
Yeah. When I was about 16 years old, my mom took me to get a facial. I had acne. I had acne a little bit before everybody else, and I was very self-conscious about it. And so my mom took me to her esthetician, and I walked in, and I vividly remember the whole experience. I remember laying there. I remember the lights, the sounds, the touch, the smells, like the candle and the candle burning and the music. I remember all of it. And as kind of giving me a facial and cleansing my skin, I felt so seen and loved and taken care of and accepted for who I was. And I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, this is exactly the path that I'm meant to go on. When I was 18 and I graduated high school, I did a semester of college. And I was like, this is not for me. College is not my thing. Like, I know you're all supposed to go to college. You're supposed to do it. That's not my route. I did one semester and I barely made it through. And it was like a summer semester. So I decided to become a licensed esthetician. And since then, my whole life has changed.
I mean, you really took it and ran with it. In terms of deciding this is the industry, it's like this click. You're like, I'm going to go all in.
I knew from 30 minutes into that facial when I was 16, I knew like that is my moment. That is my craft. Like that is what I should be doing with my life. Is exactly what this lady is doing. Now, did I realize when I was 16 that I was going to open up a spa and have 20 employees and 12 treatment rooms and then be consulting on the side and doing everything else? I had no idea about that. I just knew that I was meant to be in that industry, at least in the treatment room, and giving people that confidence that that lady instilled into me that day.
I can appreciate the fact that you decided to follow that gut instinct, because there's many people who do not. They may have that instinct. They may have that, you know what, I love this moment, but they may cast aside because they could say, I don't have the resources. I don't have the experience. I don't have the people to tell me how to do this. I don't know if I can figure it out myself. Oh, I'm worried if this, that, the other, or maybe it's just something for fun. It's not a real career.
Yeah. The society pushes us in a way to where you should do the right things. You know, you should go to college. You should get your master's. You should do X, Y, Z. I think all those things are great. But if you have a passion for something and if you genuinely really care about it and it doesn't require college, go for it. You know, if you set your mind to anything, I'm a firm believer that you will make it happen. Whether it's you really like to do pottery and you want to have a business and you want to sell mugs, you can make that happen and you can make a living, but you got to get over that fear and just do it.
Yeah. Just do it. That's
Just
our
do it.
tagline. Just do it.
Yeah.
I want to hit on the point you're making about how much you care. And that's one of the drivers for you is that you care about things. And I was looking at some of your past articles. I know you've done some articles and interviews in the past with people. And one of the things you speak to in there is trying to get over this idea of people pleasing. And you know where that comes into play, especially as you have a team and you got to work with them, act professionally, listen to their concerns, listen to their feedback. However, again, I've led my own team as well, and I've worked with a lot of leaders who have. A lot of times there's like a fine line between people pleasing, as you call it, and letting things get through the cracks that impact the business, impact the culture around you. What did that look like for you, or has that looked like for you in your
So
business?
much trial and error, so many years of literally failing and doing the wrong thing and being like, oh, I really like this person. They didn't qualify for a bonus, but I'm still going to give it to them because I really like them and I don't want to lose them. Well, that person ended up leaving anyways. What was I thinking, or other things where somebody's late all the time. And I'm like, oh, I get it. They have kids, they have a hard life, they have so much going on. That's totally fine. And that ends up being more of like the people pleasing rather than just holding policies and everybody accountable. And that's how you can run a successful business is if you have the structure, the systems, and the policies in place and you follow them. And once I realized, okay, I made these rules. These are the rules and I need to follow these own rules. Then I know that that's how I can please them. It's a different way of being like, hey, no, I'm actually holding you accountable. This is what we need to do instead of kind of breaking the rules. And then that leads to inconsistency. So I feel like once you have those policies in place, the people pleasing can become a little bit easier to mask and kind of not focus on actually helping them specifically, but instead making sure that they all follow the policies.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line because, again, we talk about you like the person or I understand their situation. You have to kind of know, number one, how do you have the appropriate conversations when they need to happen? How do you do it where it's not just, hey, I'm laying the hammer here. Here's why I'm doing it. But also I've had experiences where people try to run over you with that. They try to hold it over your head. They, and to your point, when you do make allowances, they find ways to do that more often. Or they think, you know what, they're going to roll over. So I'm just going to roll over the whole entire way and see how much I can get away with.
And then once that happens as a leader, once you keep seeing it happening, then you realize, oh, I can't do this anymore. And I started my business when I was 25 years old. And I was like, I'm 25, I'm an adult. I know looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was 25 years old. I was still a kid and I was still learning and I was still trying to figure everything out. And that's when you want to be likable. You want people to like you and you want to please them and have this wonderful place where you're just amazing and everyone loves you. And that's not reality. Especially when you're a boss, you're a leader, you're not going to be liked by everybody. You can be kind, you can be caring. At the end of the day, do you remember liking every single boss you've ever had? No.
You can have a basic line respect for them, how you interact and treat them. But to your point, do you like them? You don't necessarily need that in business, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So really understand your policies, hold the boundaries, have those clear conversations when needed. Was there a certain point where you're like, you know what, I'm going to start to try to be more consistent with this? Was there just like a moment in time?
You know what? That's a great question. There were many moments that I should have learned from that should have been that moment. When I look back and I'm like, oh, when that happened, that's when I should have changed. Oh, when that happened, I really should have done something. So there's so many times that I didn't. I think when finally the moment changed was when I was so burnt out. I was so exhausted. Yeah. I did not know how I could go on one more day and still own my spa and be happy. And I was like, if I don't actually uphold to everything, that's the only way that I'm going to keep this business going. I had many days where I was burnt out, but there was a time when it was like, this is not going to end well if I keep treating myself like this and trying to people please or not upholding to the policies that I put in place because I like somebody. Once I made that shift, I got a sense of freedom that I haven't had before. I'm a firm believer that structure creates safety and safety creates freedom on both sides. As a leader, I'm able to say, okay, this is what I want from you, and this is what I'm going to give to you, and vice versa. And then that creates safety because you're both aware. Both sides know exactly what is expected and what each side is signed up to do and to deliver. And then with that creates freedom on both sides. The staff is happier because they actually know what they're doing and they're held accountable to it. And their coworkers held accountable. You're not playing sides. You're not having favorites, whether you mean to or not.
Right.
But it took me a long time. Like we're going to say about a decade of owning my own business before I truly realized that.
Yeah. It may not always be, I do it right when I need to. It's like life is a constant phase of, okay, I'm actually going to try to do something and then actually follow through with it.
Exactly. And it's hard as a business owner, especially small business. There's so many things that we're doing all the time. We have so much on our mental plate and to-do list. So it's to have those hard conversations, to change a policy, to all of a sudden uphold something that you didn't before is really hard and it's really scary. And I lost a lot of employees. And people I genuinely cared about, I lost, but I'm like, I had to do that to get my business to the next level. And if I knew if I couldn't get my business to the next level, I couldn't keep having my business.
Right. And that key item in addition to that was that burnout, which when you encounter that, it's not a good feeling.
No.
It's not a good feeling.
No.
So to your point, you need to keep running a business. That's a good trigger.
Yep. 100%.
I'm curious here. I'm a big advocate for this word that I saw you use as well. Curiosity as a competitive advantage. How does that show up for you and your business?
Curiosity as a competitive advantage. I think you always need to be learning and growing and know what's going on. And the world is changing so quick before our eyes, like so quick. So instead of jumping to the worst conclusions, or even the best conclusions, be curious and be open and literally sit with it and think of all the possibilities. Then it comes with like when we make protocols for the spa, let's say like a massage. I'm like, we don't have to follow very strict guidelines. Let's do something that gives the employee the way to customize and also be curious and also have fun. I think if you don't love your job and you don't have fun with what you're doing, why are you doing it? Like, why? Our lives are so short. There's so many creative outlets that we can all have. And if you don't have a creative outlet, you need one. My creativity is actually business. I've tried pottery. I've tried candle making. I've tried jewelry making. I'm like, let me try to have like an actual true, like crafty craft. That's not for me. I can find my craft in running a business and I'm very grateful for it.
And you don't have to change yourself, which is one of the things I say to people is you don't have to change yourself just to fit the external mold of this is what craft is, right? The whole point of craft in this show is what's your value and impact?
Yeah.
If you hear that out in the real world, they may just say, oh, crafty things, candle making.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So that's awesome. Here's another hard topic.
Ready.
Loneliness as a person, the solo person leading the charge, I don't know if you have people to really lean on, but where's that played a part in your journey?
Oh my gosh, the amount of loneliness that I've experienced by deciding to open up a business was shocking. You don't really think about the loneliness part when you're starting as a leader. Leadership is lonely, like the end. You can't connect with your employees the same way because you can't kind of step over that boundary. You have to have that boundary. You can love each other, you can respect each other, you can hang out with each other. But as a leader, nobody really understands it quite the way you do. Nobody understands the weight of it, the decisions you have to make. I have struggled with this a lot for a very long time. Even with friendships, it can be really hard because if they're not a business owner, they don't really get it either. Or relationships, if they're not a business owner or they're not a leader, that's more than fine. That's actually preferred. But at the same time, there's nobody that really gets you. About 3 years ago, I joined EO Nashville, the Entrepreneurs Organization, and it has changed everything for me. There's a group of us. There's about 350 people in the Nashville chapter. It's a global organization. There's about 18,000 people in it all over the world. Nashville, I think, is the second or third largest chapter with about 350 people. And then we get put in groups of there's 7 of us in our little group, and we meet monthly, and we all have different jobs, completely different, all of our own small businesses. And we all are able to get together and talk about the ups and the downs that you can't share with anybody. Because with leadership, the hard parts are something that are hard to talk about that some people might not get, but also the wins. Your friend might not understand that bringing in $1 million in your business is a huge win for you. And they might kind of feel resentful or just be like, what? Why are you telling me this? So I think having that community and just being around other people, there's so many groups. It's not just Entrepreneur Organization. There are so many groups, from free groups to local groups. And I think just knowing that you have those people really helps with the loneliness. 3 years ago, if you asked me that question, I would have been like, I don't know, I cry all the time. And now I can be like, well, at least I cry with my people.
Right. That's a step up, I would say, in my mind. At least there's people around you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so important then for us, regardless of what industry you're in, or I would say level, to find those groups that can support you, even if it's not internally.
People. Yes. Even if you're just starting out, if it's like the smallest thing and you just even are thinking about doing it, be around people. You don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. If you can literally be like the most stupid person in the room, that is the room you should be in. So there's so many different things. There's events, there's conferences, there are retreats. I went on a retreat, I don't know, a few years ago, this lady, Tiffany Napper. It was incredible. I was with other business owners in Mexico having the time of my life. And I still have those friendships to this day that really kind of helped me understand that I'm not alone.
Yeah. I would say that having these support systems is an important part of the structure you talk about being a necessity
100%.
to have to make sure you are thriving. It's one of those pieces.
100%. And that's also why I started spa consulting, because I realized that so many other spa owners, they don't have the handholding or they don't have the community. So I'm like, okay, well, I can be the first step in helping them get where they need to be, and also just be there for them and understand, because we all go through stuff, especially as a leader. And as a leader, some days you have to bottle it in. And you have to put on a smile and pretend like everything is fine when the place is literally on fire.
Yeah.
That's your job. Your energy affects your entire team. So if your energy is dysregulated or off, or you're feeling kind of funky, your team feels that. And then that's how the spiral starts. So I think it's really important that you have an outlet and you have people to talk to. So if you have stuff on your chest, you can just get it out.
And a lot of times you don't know what kind of pinging ideas are going to get back to you too, which is one of my big things. Is I love to be around people where I can just talk things out, even if they don't need to be in my niche area.
Exactly.
That totally different framework is like, whoa, you came up with that? That actually makes some kind of logical sense. Let me try it. Worst case, it doesn't work, but now you're not in your head, as you said, spiraling.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're, as Tony Robbins says, when you're in your head, you're dead. And I totally believe that.
That's a good nugget. We don't want that.
Tony.
Then it sounds like then you're really now focusing on more of the consulting side. Why this pivot? Why this kind of shift into that as a current focus?
I feel like there was a need for it, and it's something that I didn't have. And if I had somebody to help me and to kind of guide me through in the beginning, I would have saved, not even kidding, 8 years of stress, of anxiety, of kind of trying to figure it out on my own. And I realized that so many spa owners just don't have the tools in front of them. So many people that open up a spa, they have a craft. They're a great esthetician, a massage therapist, a nurse, a nail artist, a hairstylist. They have this passion for it, and no one ever taught them business. And no one taught them how to run their business, how to create structure, how to have an SOP, how to treat your team with care, what to do to nurture a client, how to market yourself. And I spent so long learning it all on my own that I'm like, man, if I had somebody like me, my life would have been so different so long ago. Now my next step is to help other people skip all of those years, all of that stress, all of that anxiety, all of that burnout, and be able to really focus on growing a business right from the beginning. I have made so many mistakes. I have done things so wrong. I've spent so many nights crying in tears, in bed, skipping plans, missing family outings because I didn't have the right structure in place. I also didn't have the right mindset. Being a leader comes with a lot of mindset work and really understanding what it takes and how to shut it off. And as a caring and compassionate person, I'm sensitive. I'm a Cancer. I'm born in July.
Yay, Cancer! You and I.
No, we're like right next to each other. When you're so sensitive, you take on so much more than people even understand and see. And as a leader, people look at the leader and just think, oh, that's the big bad boss. And they don't always see you as a human. When inside, I have so many emotions. Thank you for creating me this way to have all these emotions and all this sensitivity. My biggest strength and my biggest weakness for sure. But I just feel like so many people need help and they don't know how to get it. So with consulting, I'm able to do coaching in there as well. So it's a little bit of like, hey, let me help with your mindset, but also like, let's get your shit in order. Like, let's put all your paperwork, all your documents. So if you wanted to go to Tahiti tomorrow, your whole place would run without you.
That's what we want. We don't want to have to always be one person running the whole ship and that person goes.
Yeah.
What's happening to the business?
You get sick, a life emergency happens. I mean, yeah.
One thing I always coached my own leadership is, what does that look like for you? So that's awesome that you're really trying to provide that niche within spa ownership there.
Yes.
If you were going to say you had kind of one big strength you tend to lean on the most at this time of your life to help you move things along, what would you say that strength is right now?
My partner, my boyfriend, he is incredible and he's helpful and he evens me out. I can be very go, 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 go. Let's get this done. Let's have to do this. And he's very like, let's calm down. You're having a little anxiety right now. Why don't we do some breathing exercises? I like literally got the jackpot. I love to work. He makes breakfast. He makes coffee in the morning. It's like my really centering ground. So having somebody so supportive in my corner that really just loves me and wants to take care of me and be there. He also helps with the spa. Like if something we needed rocks put in and he helped with that. And so that's really nice. But outside of my personal life, having a really good manager and a really good team, that's what's given me the freedom because I put all the systems and structure in place and then I found the right people to fill the roles to follow it. My manager right now is incredible and she is on it and she is a good leader and she is there and she is physically there, which to have people that actually show up and come to work is so great in 2026.
Yes.
We're living in a whole different world since COVID. So just making sure you have the right team, like for me, the right team. And I, for a long time, didn't have the right team. And I spent a lot of time just hiring the right people. And then when people move on and leave, I get it. That's life. I want you to go and explore and do different things. And then it just gives me an opportunity to get somebody that's even better aligned at where my business is at that moment.
Yeah, because things shift. So
things shift.
That's it.
Yeah. The only consistent is inconsistency.
See, you're bringing out all the taglines today. I really appreciate that. The taglines
just stick in your mind and you're like, yeah, that's so true. The only consistent is inconsistency.
That is
with
very
anything,
true.
But especially a small business. But if things stay the same, then you're not growing. And do you ever want to be in a place where you're not growing? I don't.
Well, we talked about, I know I don't. Stagnancy is the worst feeling. To the part of the details we're talking about today, understand what makes you you, which you're talking about today, the empathy, the caring, the understanding the structure, the willingness to make mistakes and own up to the mistakes and change and grow. And then you can actually get those success outcomes you're trying to get to, which in your case, you're talking about, hey, we're getting revenue for a business. We're helping people to have a job and be able to have a career. We're, creating a wellness experience for people. They want to come back and they're feeling good when they leave. Like, that's what you want.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, then let's talk about the future track.
Mhm.
What's ahead for the spa experience and what you're delivering to the world?
With the spa, my goal is to always create this beautiful, nurturing, caring environment. We're always going to stick to one location. It's called Haus Nashville because I was planning on opening up a bunch of locations. And then once you have one and it runs really well, I'm like, we're good with one. I have 20 employees. That is the perfect amount. I do not need more. But I think with the spa, it's just to consistently continue to deliver quality treatments with my caring and knowledgeable staff and to make sure I am always holding true to that promise that it's always quality and it's always caring and knowledgeable staff. And then with the coaching and consulting, my plan is to help as many spa owners as I can. I do speaking gigs. I love being on podcasts like this, but the more people that I can help in the spa industry, that's my plan. I'm writing a book right now that I'm really excited about that will hopefully help a bunch of spa owners as well. So my goal is to give as much as I can to try to help other people succeed. That's my next step.
What's the final tool or nugget of knowledge you would like to give those out there listening to you?
Man, I have so many, but the one thing that's just coming into my mind at this exact moment is if you have a team, bringing on the right team is so important. There's a book called Who? The A Method by Hiring. And that book has changed my life. It has got me really clear on making sure the right people have come in. It really helps you get clear and understand hiring and how to bring in the right people. Because at the end of the day, the right people need to be in your corner. That's what I would recommend. Make sure that you spend your time and get the right team. And if you're solo and you're alone, great. That's fine too. But then you have to make sure that you are bringing in what you want, that your mindset is in the right place to attract the right things. If it ever starts to kind of veer and go down to the negative, that's when you need to ask for help, whether it's finding a support or a mentor or a coach. Ideally, you'd ask for help before, but that's not how it always works.
Well, many people, they don't always know or recognize, maybe a coach would be helpful. Finding the right coach is so important too. Who's the person that's going to you connect with, that you can have this conversation that's going to get in there for you and work with you and get you to do a lot of the thinking as well. Because coaching is where you're getting this person to really own up to what's going on and what actions they're going to take. You're not telling them. You're getting them to think about things, but they should be taking that ownership.
And there's so many different ways to do this now and different types of offerings and people and methods. So it's really easy to find help. It's just to kind of dive in and kind of see what's best for you. For mine, it's an entrepreneur organization. And then my badass business owner girlfriends that I'm like, well, I have all these amazing women that own businesses, and being around them lights me up, and everybody needs that.
There's something I do want to dig into before closing up. Mindset. You spoke about that. What has been your journey with how you've helped to cultivate the mindset you need and have identified that you need throughout this process?
I will say many years of the wrong mindset has helped. I mean, I went through years on and off where I was really always thinking about the worst case scenario, always thinking about the shoe dropping. During COVID, we all know what happened during COVID. I own a day spa. We had to shut down, called everybody to rehire. You get your job back. You get your job back. This is so exciting. And more than half my staff quit. And then they also all blocked me online. I got in this deep, dark depression phase because of it, when I felt like I was being cast to be a villain that I never was. But when you get in your mind, when you're in your head, you're dead. They were in their heads. when you start thinking away and you kind of spiral and spiral and spiral, then the reality can be skewed. And I did that a lot. My reality got very skewed. And I feel like I started doing transcendental meditation. That has helped me a ton. Little things like even just putting my phone aside, that can help because you're on social media, you're looking at what your team is doing. All of this is crowding your brain instead of having the time to truly like relax and get into your body. I journal a ton. I think that journaling and just brain dumping and put anything on there can help with your full over mindset because all this stuff that's going on, you can just dump it all on a piece of paper and be done. But at the end of the day, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of willpower. Some days I'm great and other days I still struggle. That's how life will always be. But I know that my business always does the best when I am in the right mindset, when I'm positive and I'm happy and I'm grateful. And I think it is very important to every day write down at least 3 things that you're grateful for, whether it be your house, your health, your friends, anything at all, the type of person you are, the fact that you have water. When you can like really take a second and realize how lucky that we are, that can also shift with your mindset.
Yeah, many studies have shown that that is so detrimental to if you can push ahead or not. You need that gratefulness trigger. And I got my journal of 3 grateful things on my bedstand every night.
Yes.
Here are my 3 things.
It's so great. I'm also a big believer that you bring in what you attract. Like manifestation is real. It is real. And
energy.
So it's energy. It's all energy. It's all you bring in what you're meant to bring in. And so it's so funny when I hire somebody new, like let's say a new massage therapist, and all of a sudden their books are jam-packed. They're busy. They've been with me for like a month. And all of a sudden they're like fully booked. I'm like, okay, we're aligning. They're vibing. They're in the right mindset. They're really believing that they can bring in all of these clients. And then I see other people that maybe have been with me for a couple of years and all of a sudden their books and their clients are dissipating. All of a sudden they have 1 to 2 clients a day. I'm like, that's really weird. What's going on? They're checked out. Mindset is like, nope, I'm over it. And it shows. And so then those people, and they complain, maybe they're not busy enough. They're not making enough money. I'm like, let's work on this. Because when you work on this, the money always comes.
Yeah. It's the root of it all.
The root.
As I always say.
Yes.
We're at the point where I want to break down key points in our blueprint that we walk through today.
Cool.
Okay. So number 1, and this is to you, your ultimate craft in life right now is
helping others see their potential.
Yeah. And right now you're doing that niche within this industry, this spa industry.
I'm like, everybody has such big potential in life. Let me guide you to get there.
The spark of this came when you were 16, getting your first facial, and you're like, this is something that I want to get into and be able to bring out more within the world, this experience that I felt myself. Am I on point?
100%. The power of touch is so important. Now the whole world has changed. We all work remote all the time. We're not even in person right now. We're missing so much of the human connection. Digital is great. It can help connect in bigger pictures. But I'm like, man, there is nothing like that one-to-one connection where somebody is rubbing your face or giving you a massage. And it's amazing to be able to be in an industry where I can help people feel good.
Now, we walked through some of the messy parts, areas where you took many years before you said, I need to really focus on following policy and procedure. I need to remove some of the emotions out of me, giving some leeway. Sometimes it's okay, but if you're doing it consistently, this is what you see happening. Burnout. The business is not thriving as it should be.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got into the root of things being that mindset. You come into the workspace or any space that you're in, energy gives off if things work or not. So how are you taking time away from your task driven, which you said you're a busy person. Your partner keeps you on track. But how are you stepping back to say, what do I need to do to make sure I'm okay up here?
Yeah. No, me personally, I love to work. I know not everybody does, but I genuinely love to work. And I also love to play. I'm a work hard, play hard. So I travel a ton. And when I leave and I can see new places and see new cultures and connect with other people, that's what brings me inner peace and energy. I go, I work, get everything done, go out of town, still working when I'm out of town just because I might have an addiction. But then you get to go somewhere. I was just in Mexico last month, and I feel like that's what kind of keeps me on course. Everybody needs to have something as their end goal that they look forward to in small picture and big picture. If you make X amount of dollars, if you sign up X amount of clients, if you work X amount of hours, give yourself this little reward. Or maybe you want to buy a house, or you want to take a dream vacation. Everyone has different things that they want. And I think it's really fun when you can tie that to productivity. That's what kind of helps me get through it when I'm going through a hard time.
Very achievement oriented. So have both. Play hard, work hard, play hard.
Yeah, I'm an Enneagram 3, which is an achiever. Shocking.
There you go. The Enneagram, that's a good assessment too.
Yeah.
The future trajectory. It sounds like you're getting a clear focus on you want to translate all this knowledge that you've personally accumulated all the years to other spa owners, help to do consulting and coaching. You're doing both, and you're going to see how that flourishes and helps them with their lifestyle, ease some of the burdens of the mind. That's your forward trajectory.
You could not have said that better. Yes.
Beautiful. Elyse, I am so happy you joined us for the fledgling phase of Blueprint of a Craft. If people want to find you after the fact, what would you recommend here?
Yeah, on Instagram, it's at Your Spa Expert. If you are in Nashville and you want to get a massage or a facial, it's Spa Haus Nashville, Spa Haus Nashville. And that's the best way to get a hold of me.
Well, thanks for blueprinting today. Have a good one, Elyse.
Thank you, Alissa. Have a good one.
And that's a wrap on another Blueprint. Whether you're designing an incredible customer experience or breaking through your own trial and error moments, remember that structure creates safety and safety creates freedom. Here's your fun thought experiment for this week. Identify one rule or policy in your life or business that you can simplify today and give yourself more mental bandwidth. If you love today's episode, leave us a review and tap subscribe so you never miss a segment. We'll catch you next time on Blueprint of a Craft.